welcome back to That Just Doesn't Make Sense, the Nature of Things. In the previous episode, I introduced you to Progressivism and told you that episodes 12 through 20 would be dedicated to breaking down the actual words used to describe it. Today, we are going to take the opening paragraph from the Center for American Progress article on progressivism and dissect it word by word, phrase by phrase. Not to be political, but to understand what words actually mean and whether the claims being made hold up to basic reasoning. Let me read this to you. Progressivism is, at its core, grounded in the idea of progress, moving beyond the status quo to more equal and just social conditions, consistent with original American democratic principles such as freedom, equality, and the common good. Now, before I go further, I want you to stop and ask yourself something. What does that sentence actually mean? Do not let the familiar words trick you into thinking you understand it. Sit with it. What is it really saying? Now let us look at it piece by piece. First, progressivism at its core is grounded in the idea of progress. Progress, let me give you an actual definition from vocabulary.com. Progress refers to forward movement toward a goal or gradual advancement and growth toward a more developed state. The word can function as a noun, meaning the forward journey or process of improvement, or as a verb, meaning to advance or develop over time. That is a clean definition. Forward moving toward a goal, advancement toward a more developed state. I have no argument with that definition, at least not yet. Now the next part, moving beyond the status quo to more equal and just social conditions. I want you to notice something. The sentence says to more equal, not to a more equal. There is a missing article. Now you might think that is insignificant, but consider this. This document comes from the Center for American Progress. This is not a casual blog post. This is an official statement describing what progressivism is. Documents like this are written, reviewed, edited by multiple people. Typos get caught, grammatical choices get deliberated. So either that missing article is intentional or the organization responsible for the defining progressivism cannot proofread its own foundational document. Neither option reflects well on that. Now, why does that missing article matter? Because to more equal is vague. It does not commit to a specific condition. To a more equal is precise. It means movement toward a specific state, a more equal condition. The difference is real, and here is why it matters to your critical thinking. If I am trying to convince you to support a movement, I need to be able to define what success looks like. I need to tell you what that more equal actually means. Without that commitment, the goal is infinitively flexible. We can always claim we are making progress toward more equal without ever defining what that means or when we have achieved it. Now let us look back at the next phrase, to more equal and just social conditions consistent with original American democratic principles such as freedom, equality, and the common good. Notice what they do here. They use words that are already established in the Constitution: freedom, equality, common good. These words have legal definitions. They have been interpreted and debated for centuries in American law. But the way this sentence is written, it sounds like progressivism is simply extending those original principles, as if freedom, equality, and common good need to be reinterpreted or made consistent with progressivism's version of them. That is the sleight of hand. They are using constitutional language to give themselves legitimacy, but they are not actually engaging in what the Constitution says those words mean. They are redefining them. Let me give you a concrete example. I worked as a business consultant for many many years. When I would review a contract with a client, I would look for what was referenced but not defined. For instance, a contract might say the parties agree to conduct business in accordance with industry standards, but it never defines what those industry standards are. It never references a specific document or a set of rules. That vagueness is intentional. It gives one party flexibility later to claim almost anything qualifies as an industry standards. If you try to hold them accountable, they can say, well, that is not what we meant because the contract never committed to a specific meaning. They play these tricks all the time, folks. This progressivism document does exactly the same thing. It references original American democratic principles such as freedom, equality, and the common good, but it never actually defines what those principles are according to the Constitution. It never says we are going to uphold freedom as defined in the First Amendment or equality as defined in the 14th Amendment. Instead, it just invokes those words and let you assume they mean what you think they mean. Progressivism has spent 100 years redefining those words to mean something very different from their constitutional meaning. Here is a real-world example. The Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, was marketed as expanding health care, but what it actually did was expand health insurance. There are two different things. Health care is access to medical services. Health insurance is a payment mechanism. You can expand insurance coverage without expanding actual health care availability. And many people discovered that after the law passed, they had insurance but could not actually find doctors or get timely care. The language was deliberately imprecise so that people would assume one thing while the law actually did another thing. That is what you are seeing in the progressivism document. Language that sounds like it means one thing, but is intentionally vague enough that it can mean something entirely different in practice. So here is what I want you to take away from today's episode. When someone is asking you to support something, to believe in something, to change your life around something, pay attention to the words they use. Pay attention to the words they do not use. Pay attention to what is defined clearly and what is left vague, because vagueness is not accidental. In official documents, vagueness is a strategy. It allows the people making the promises to redefine those promises later while claiming that they never changed their position. Boy, does that happen. That is not politics. That is not left. That is not right. That is how language gets weaponized to obscure truth and avoid accountability. Test everything. Prove me wrong if you can. Because I don't care about truth. Because I care about truth. And so do you. Thank you for listening. Please comment, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.